Okay, well, we'll go with this one.
Where are you, Q?
We need you.
Yeah, we're struggling.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Behind the Blind. We are back in Tornado Alley for trip number 2, as we typically do the first week of February. And Logan has mic problems.
I got it figured. Well,
You're a little top heavy. You're top heavy there, pal.
I have that problem.
You don't have enough weight down in the...
See, it's still doing it.
Can we start this over?
Got to balance that thing out, bud.
The last hour.
Right. That's why I lowered mine. You guys got yours that are like way up here.
Don't worry about it.
It's got to get over my. Mine's got to get over my
here.
arm.
Yes,
You're an
if we can
experienced
start this over. We don't
podcaster,
need to
though, Ronnie.
start this over.
I sure hope that our hunts go better than the start of this podcast.
You know they will not.
Hey, just because you were filming 5 minutes ago doesn't mean the last hour wasn't good.
We had some riveting stuff over here.
Keep being riveting.
Do you want me to
By all means,
what else
rivet
do you have to
away.
say?
Well, do I need-
Rivet away.
to go back into my
good to be
Leon
back
Phelps
in-
impressions?
Hey,
It's good to be back
It
at
is.
TAW.
I'll give you some rivet.
You
It's raining right now.
Yeah, it
a
is
lot.
raining.
It's
It's raining
not
a lot.
fun.
We're going to be playing
be
in the mud
soupy.
tomorrow. Anyway, hey, thanks.
February.
Let's get this show underway officially. Okay, so Tetra Hearing is the proud sponsor of Behind the Blind. Thank you, Tetra Hearing. Check them out online at tetrahearing.com. We are back in Kansas. It is the final week of the Canada Goose season in Kansas, and we are here with Tornado Alley. Is the scenery might look familiar from where we were right before Christmas. And we got Logan Burdett, Chaz, Justin Michaels, Hazmat, Matt Westcoat. I'm Papa Ronnie Phillips. I guess I didn't call you Birdman.
It's okay.
Birdman, Logan Burdett.
It's
Well, he's the one who
self-proclaimed.
got me on this idea that we should give everybody a nickname in this podcast, so I thought I'd go there. Anyway, so hey, we're excited to be back. There's a lot of birds here. But much like we experienced last week around home, the weather conditions have got these birds really kind of spread out everywhere. So it's going to be a little bit challenging, but I think that they've got bigger how should I say this? Bigger concentration of birds in pockets than we did back home.
Yeah, I would say so. They're just spread out, right? It was
Right.
75 degrees yesterday, and it's the first week of February. So very different scenario from last year. It was -10 at this point in
Right.
time. We were hoping that our trucks would start, you know?
Yeah.
So, yep, they're just spread back out. All the small bodies of water that are around here that we like to hunt, they're all back open. So there's no congregation of birds. They're 25 here, 50 there. We don't know whether we want to hunt a field in the morning. We want to try to hunt water. It's kind of a
So it's going to be a combination of both with all this rain.
Exactly. It's just a different scenario right now than it was last year, the previous years. You know, we always think of February, cold weather.
Right.
Not the case. Friday, I think the low's like 19, but then Saturday morning, the high is like 55. So we're not really getting anything colder. You know, maybe the lows are going to, go down a little bit, but during the day, it's still going to be really warm. So we're not going to get a freeze of the small water, and we're kind of just going to have to play our luck, right?
Yep.
Are we going to hunt a field or are we going to hunt water? And that's kind of what we were scouting today, and I think we're leaning towards hunting a field in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a little bit of like a reverse migration going on? Some of these,
I think they've reversed several times.
Yeah. They bounce north a little bit, find a body of water, hang out, bounce a little bit more north, find a body of water, hang out.
Yeah, I mean, typically this time of year in Kansas, you're seeing the specks start rolling back through to the
Right.
north. And that is really where you're like, I was like, Everett, do you have any specks? No, we don't have a ton. I was like, good. We don't want them right now.
Oh, we saw them
we
tonight.
saw
Yeah,
some
there was
tonight,
some.
didn't we?
As a matter of fact, I didn't do it, but man,
trophy.
I was tempted to get out and pull a Mohican sneak on a speck because I
fully
have
black
not
belly.
seen a tar belly this tarred.
It was literally
was-
like
Could have
was
just been some really dark mud.
Well, I don't think so.
It was good.
I was like, even Brandon
It was
was
a
like,
booner.
look at the belly on that one. I was like, ooh.
See, you can shoot some trophies this time of year, the last 2 weeks of the season, but
yeah.
they screw up a lot of hunts.
Oh,
They
for sure.
They really
Yeah.
do. And it really made me happy that there's not a lot around because typically right now they're pushing back through too. And Brandon said he's been seeing a lot of little geese. Oh, hey, Ben. Hey, bud.
There he is.
All right, sit down.
That tail is dangerous. You might want to grab that drink or it's going to be everywhere.
Ben, go lay down. Go lay down. Good boy.
The thing that I also noticed tonight, and I actually have not had the opportunity to come down here and hunt with you guys that first week of February, because that's typically right around the time that my son is having a birthday, right? And so the way the calendar landed this year was that we came a little bit later, a few days later than normal. And so, but everything that I've seen from the footage when you guys are down here is that you're typically shooting the big greater Canada geese. And when we were driving around tonight, while we did see some of those pockets of big greater Canada geese, I saw a lot of lessers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of chickens. And naturally, from, my experience in hunting with you guys, is that we typically like to throw big spreads at the chickens because they kind of act like snow geese, right?
Yep.
And so you want to, put on a big or make a big presence for them.
The chickens like to lay a lot of eggs.
Yes, right.
So throw the bigger
So they
spread.
say. So throw the big spread. And so Brandon was in the scout truck with us tonight, and he was like, "Oh no,
6 dozen.
we don't throw more than 6 dozen at them." And I was kind of like, "What?"
They never
But don't
do.
you kind of
They
you
never throw-
overcall
they
it?
never
Like you
throw-
want to call. It's about the calling,
It's
right?
more about the sound they make.
They never throw big spreads, and they never throw sleeper shells.
Right.
Hey, just what they do down here.
And look,
they
There's
kill
nothing
'em.
wrong
Yeah.
or right about it.
Right.
It's just
They
what
have
they're
success
comfortable
doing
with
it.
that they have success.
I
doing.
mean, and they were saying that their bird count this year is still above average for their normal year, when a lot of
Yeah, they
people
had
have
a great
struggled
year
all
down
season
here.
long. Yeah.
I'm all about working harder, not smarter.
It's because of Everett.
Wait a minute. What did I just say?
I don't think
I'm all about working smarter, not harder, is what I meant to say.
Yeah. I'm not on the same page as you as that last one.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
sleep in an extra hour and I'll meet you there.
Yeah, no, I definitely would rather throw 6 dozen decoys if we can get them to finish. But there's definitely a lot of chickens around. There's a lot of lessers around, and
But
looking.
it's a confidence thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we love throwing a big. I mean, look at this. We throw a big decoy spread even when we don't have to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they don't, and it works. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong or right about it. It's just how people like going about doing things, and if it works, it works.
If it ain't broke,
doesn't,
don't fix it.
Exactly. If it doesn't, hey,
Yeah.
change something up.
Yeah.
there has definitely been a theme to the end of this season 10 of production of Heartland Waterfowl. If you think about since the beginning of the year, like before the new year, we were here. And we were all jacked up about that cold front that came across the entire country, right? That changed the
Screwed everything
migration.
up.
In a way, it kind of did. In a way, it kind of
for
like,
us.
It was really
Am I
cool.
wrong?
It was great, for us in that duck hunt that morning on that creek, and there was a lot of movement. Then the migration went south, and they were getting
Yeah.
birds earlier than they typically would have. But then after that massive cold front, things warmed up a lot.
We kind of
Right.
talked about the repercussion, right?
Right,
What's
that's
gonna
what I'm talking
happen
about.
With such a big push across the whole country at that early point
Yep.
of time.
Yep.
And look, people in Arkansas, they loved it, right?
Yeah.
They've been shooting a ton of ducks. They've been shooting a ton of specks, everything.
Yeah.
Oklahoma loved it. Now, and here's the thing. Then you had the hardy birds that have held up in Nebraska. So Missouri and Kansas has kind of had that like moody weather, right? Where it goes 60, 70 degrees, then it drops down into
Cold.
the teens and you're cold. Whereas we just want consistency, right? Give us 50, 60s for 2 or 3 weeks straight, or give
Or
us
vice versa.
vice versa, right? So we just want the consistency, because right now there's nothing consistent with what we have.
This is a bipolar vortex.
And we're trying to fight what we want to do.
It really is.
Well, regardless of the actual temperature, if this weather, what we have right now, was the same for the last 3 weeks, we'd have these birds in a pattern.
Yep.
But it's changed in the last 3 days. So now
Now
we're
they're
sitting here
splitting
trying to
up.
fight the pattern, right? Yesterday, they're doing something different than they were the day before. Today, they did something different than they did the last 3 days, So now we're trying to figure out what's the smart play. Do you hunt the water? Do you hunt the field? Do you hunt what they were in the night before? Do you hunt something they were in the last 3 days before that?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, the type of fields they're in too. We're not in cut cornfields with a lot of stuff we saw tonight.
Yep, it's beans and mostly drilled winter wheat.
Winter wheat. And
So-
how do you hide?
You're taking a buggy in and you're hopefully hunting a waterway that hasn't been baled.
Yep.
Here's the other thing that I would convey too is that regardless of how long we've been waterfowl hunting and as much experience as we have, and you would think that after especially 10 years of doing the show, like we're going to have this figured out.
No.
it's crazy how quickly they can still humble you. Like, even when we were at home last week, we were thinking, okay, it's going to warm up. These birds are going to go to water. And no, they really just went off the water into the little pasture or the grass field next to the water. And then they just fed in the grass all day. Right. Like we didn't really, I mean, it was after some scouting that we saw that, but you would think, I guess what I'm ultimately saying is that after easy Ben.
Hey, Ben, go lay down, bud.
You would think that with all of our experience, that they would just do what we are accustomed to them doing. And this weather has got them so jacked up that they are teaching us some new things.
You just want some attention.
Yeah.
This podcast would lock your attention as well.
That's okay.
So what do you think we should do tomorrow? We had some good scouts tonight.
There was a lot of birds, and we
being
got
said.
permission on a couple of different pieces.
We've got some options.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're hunting a field tomorrow, top of the hilltop. Winter wheat, beans.
But we're
very, very, very short grass hide, I guess you call it.
all layout blinds tomorrow,
Layout
right?
lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't done.
It is what it is.
When was
There's
the last
nothing-
time you guys hunted layout blinds?
Oh man,
I was just trying to remember that.
it's
North
been
Dakota.
Okay.
This year?
This year?
This year in North
Okay.
Dakota, the first
Oh,
day.
that's right.
I haven't
forgot
hunted a
about
layout
that.
blind in a while.
I haven't hunted
When was the
a
last time you hunted a layout
it's
blind?
probably been 2 years.
Like Canada or something?
Now, think about this.
Spring snows for me. I
What is
think.
that? 7-8 years ago, we never hunted anything but layout.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For years.
There was no other thought in our mind of hunting anything other than Ben, go lay down.
Yeah, for years.
Jeez. Apparently, raising my foot scared him.
What are you doing?
Go lay down.
What'd you do to his dog?
Lay down. Get control of your dog, Logan.
Ben, go lay down.
He just wants to hunt.
He just wants to hang out. He wants to see you, Ronnie.
I know.
You're the star of the show.
If you don't go lay down, you're going to be out in the kennel in the rain.
Don't.
Get control of your dog.
All right. Sorry. Moving on.
Trying to do a show here. Yeah, I'm joking. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to be on layouts tomorrow. We're going to have to get up a little bit earlier and stubble some blinds. Most of the layouts that we're going to be in are the blinds that Tornado Alley already has. So we got to stubble some camera blinds. That's probably going to be the hardest. It won't be the hunting side of it. Like it'll be the guys who are typically comfortable filming out of an A-frame who will now have to have the hood over their head. And
I did it for 7-8 years, man. This show was built on people like me and Matt filming out of layouts. Am I wrong? It's the truth. Sorry, Dakota.
This is the point where you say
we
it's
had
just
camera
like riding
guys
a bike.
long before you were doing this.
yeah. You wrote the book on filming
You
out
are
of
the
a layout
best.
blind.
Yeah. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Oh, jeez.
Man, this guy has been here from the start.
And this
Well-
is how he got the name Chaz Michaels.
hunting the
joke.
great outdoors.
I don't care how
All
long we've
joking
been doing
aside,
it.
though,
Film.
we really did film out of
We
out of
did, but
layouts.
honestly, like we
Everybody,
haven't
not
done it.
just us,
We
but,
haven't
like,
done it in years.
And we all switched out.
And I don't care how long we've been doing it. It's not going to be a really good time tomorrow, as wet as everything's going to be. Laying in layout blinds. It's
Yeah.
going to be a tough morning.
I don't have to do it. He already raised his big mouth.
I'm in. I'm ready.
He's ready to go.
I'll run the slow-mo.
So hopefully when we come back and do another episode of Behind the Blind, we're going to be showing you some footage from tomorrow morning's hunt. And you're going to see some of that cheese, that slow-mo cheese that Chaz Michaels is going to be laying down.
No excuses
And
now.
so
We're definitely
exactly.
we're playing that tomorrow.
So
The Dakota display does not
That's
lie.
what I was going to
Dakota,
say.
can we play that tomorrow?
You can play. We
So
can play
you're
all
on
this.
Here we
slow mo
go.
tomorrow.
Which means that we're pulling the soft focus
Yep.
clips too, just
Yep.
to make sure that because this guy's
Yep.
running his big mouth over here, that he's
can't wait.
I'm the guy who wrote the book about filming out a layout blind.
Or
look,
Scott
so-
voice.
I didn't
Can't
say
wait.
me.
What's-
I said
Are you going to need my readers?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, what's the most likely excuse? Readers, fogged lenses.
Yep. That was the
There's no excuse.
Camera malfunction?
Tomorrow's the day. Hey,
Big E's.
are you gonna be able to play some of that tomorrow? And he's got slow mo.
All right, let's break it down.
I can't wait. This is gonna be awesome.
Actually, tomorrow's episode is going to be dedicated to
Justin
it's gonna
Michaels
be
screwing up.
It's going to be the Justin Michaels film critique. We're not going to talk about any of the.
ready.
We're not going to talk about our scout. We're going to talk about. Okay, we're going to
Analyze all
sit
the
down.
photos.
Justin Michaels film
School. Yeah, you're right. So this episode will be about how we typically
I'm
sit
just
down
glad you
with
guys
any of
called
our
me back
guys.
this week. So I can come on this trip.
$2,500 a weekend just to learn soft focus.
And then for another $2,500, we'll teach you ISO.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
we go.
Can we talk about the Super Bowl?
We'll show up when we want,
Before this thing's
where we
over.
want.
Well, we're got a couple more days before the Super Bowl. The
Soft
only reason you're
focus
bringing
at
it
all.
up is because we have NFL Network on right now, and they're showing the Super Bowl from when the Chiefs won Super Bowl 54.
They're not soft focus.
They're professionals.
Are you guys nervous about the Super Bowl? Like,
Nervous about you filming slow mo.
here we go.
Here we go.
Just press record. That's all you got to do.
Just make sure it's in focus. Make sure you have peaking. They're speaking on that camera, right? Use it. They were speaking on the camera over Thanksgiving, too. You forgot about that part.
It's all right. This is great.
I gotcha.
This is great.
Anyway, listen, we're excited to be here because Tornado Alley. I mean, we have a great relationship with all of the guys that we hunt with as it pertains to outfitters across the country. Aaron Garcia at High Plains Wing Shooters. I know I wasn't able to go, but the guys had a great time up there.
And you guys smashed, too.
We did spend
You guys
92
smashed it.
birds in 4 days.
That's
man.
incredible.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
But Brandon and Jose and Sean, I guess I got to bring up Everett's name now since he's like the lead
Oh,
guide
God.
for Tornado Alley.
Can we get him another T-shirt?
No.
Lead guide.
He doesn't need another T-shirt. Anyway, they're like they've been with us since the very beginning.
I feel like we all just deflated his head at one time.
I don't know. Brandon said tonight, he's like, Everett stepped it up.
He has. He really has.
Don't tell him I said that, but
I know it sounds like or looks like when you watch these that like I just don't like Everett. I love Everett. He's my brother,
We all
and
do.
we all do. But I don't know why he's just such an easy target to make fun of him, and so we give him a lot of grief. But anyway, we're excited to be here. It should be a great next 4 days of hunting. And so stick around because obviously we're going to be showing you these hunts and we're going to be turning around a very polished production of how each one of these hunts how they've turned out. And we're going to be releasing those on YouTube anywhere from 12 to 24 hours from the time they've been filmed. We're going to give you a podcast of Behind the Blind at each night to kind of tell you how that day's hunt went, kind of get a little bit more in depth, maybe go through some of the shitty footage of Chaz Michaels. No, I'm
talk
joking.
about the Super Bowl.
Maybe by Saturday we'll get to the Super Bowl, and then and we'll tell you about the scout and what our expectations are going into the next hunt. So aside from that, I don't know what else there is to say, right?
Happy birthday.
That's
Brandon.
the one thing. Happy birthday,
Nice.
Brandon Mendoza. Yep, I was going to say that.
Beat me to it. We just got done having a surprise birthday party for him.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you, Denise, for catering in all that awesome food from Casa Ramos.
Yeah, that was good.
We're going to get him in the winter wheat tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
let's get him.
In the rain.
All week.
Miserable conditions.
Quick over under.
27.
I was going to say
27?
30. I was gonna say
27.
32.
Yeah, I was going to say 32. I'll go
20,
with
33. I think it's a
27.
30 bird day.
33. I'm going with
27.
33. I'm going with the Larry Bird.
Shout out Trevor Bolden.
Why?
That's his favorite number, 27.
Oh, gotcha. All right, for Birdman, Logan Birded, Chaz, Justin Michaels, Hazmat, Matt Westcoat, I'm Papa Ronnie Phillips. Thank you, Tetra Hearing. Check him out at tetrahearing.com. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We're going to get him 33.
27.
32.